What's up, guys? I'm gonna make a video on personal request. Someone commented on one of my videos and asked for a video on access specifiers. So here's a video on access specifiers. Now, essentially, the use of an access specifier is to, let's say, control how other people can access certain parts of your program. Certain parts meaning, now every program is written in a class, right? So certain parts of your class and your class itself can be accessed by other people. Now access specifiers let you control how these other people will access them. Now essentially there are 4 types of access levels and 3 modifier keywords, and these keywords can't be used as variable names, you should remember that. So the first one is public, second one is private, third one is protected, and the last one is separate. It's not a keyword, remember, not a keyword, but it's still there. Default. This is a level of access. This is not a keyword. You must remember, I cannot stress this point enough. And I'm sorry if that's going off the screen. Kind of limited screen right now. Okay. So now essentially, why use access modifiers? Now the why as to why you would use an access modifier is pretty simple. If you have some code in your program that you don't want someone else to see, in the sense that someone else who's using your class, someone else who's accessing your class for whatever purpose, and you don't want them to see your code. Let's say you have very special code which you've taken a lot of effort to write, you don't want them to see that code, then you would use a particular access modifier that would restrict them from seeing that code. For example, let's say you take the Google search engine. Now in the Google search engine there is very specific code that Google uses to retrieve their search results, and that differentiates other search engines from Google, and rather differentiates Google from other search engines and makes Google so special. Now if another search engine, or if anyone else in the world who's using Google's code and somehow can access Google's special code, then that would be a huge problem for Google. That's why Google will mark their code as private. Now let's say in that same Google code there are some parts that they don't mind other people using, because they could use that to implement, let's say, Google search bar on their websites or something similar. So for that they would use public. And protected, as far as it goes, I will be covering it later on. And understand that default is basically like package level access. What that means is all classes in the same package can access a default marked member. Now what is a default marked member? When you don't put either public or private in front of a class or a method or a variable, then it's a default marked member. Now essentially, private, if you mark a class private, then no outside class can see it, no outside class can access it. And if you mark a class as public, then any outside class. And access modifiers can be applied to instance variables. We'll go into that later on, what instance variables are. They can be applied to methods, they can be applied to classes, and yeah, just remember that a local variable, which is a variable defined in a method, does not have any access modifier. That's all you need to remember. So that's about it for access modifiers. And later on, when I start getting into a little more very object oriented specific Java and breaking away a little bit from the syllabus so that you can understand concepts better, then this might make more sense. But till then, I'm going to have to leave you with this. And on a side note, I'm very sorry people, I haven't been making videos, I haven't been getting the time, nor did I have the hardware. But now, as you can see, I'm making my videos on a different software. I'm using my iPad to make videos. And if this is working fine for you guys, then please let me know. If you have any issues, any qualms, then please don't hesitate to leave a comment. So have a good day guys, looking forward to making some more tutorials. Peace.